We're on a record in cause number 329112. The case is styled the state of Texas versus Zion Lazarian Harmon. We have Mr. Harmon present via Zoom with his attorney, Mr. Ryan Matuska. Mr. Harmon, would you please raise your right hand? Mr. Harmon, do you swear or affirm to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, sir.
Okay, you may put your hand down. How are you doing, Mr. Harmon?
How you doing, Judge Holmes? I'm fine.
I'm doing fine. Thanks for asking. Now, Mr. Harmon, the information in this case alleges that on or about February 12th of 2021, while you were in Jefferson County, Texas, that you committed the Class A misdemeanor offense of criminal trespass. Mr. Harmon, do you understand what you've been charged with?
Yes, sir, I do.
And to discharge, Mr. Harmon, how do you plead? Guilty, not guilty, or no contest?
Plead guilty, sir.
Now, are you pleading guilty freely and voluntarily?
Yes, sir.
And are you pleading guilty because you are guilty?
Yes, sir.
Mr. Harmon, I have before me a document that is titled the Misdemeanor Plea Admonishment. It is also labeled as State's Exhibit Number 1. On page 2 of this document, there are a set of initials on a line that's next to a box that's checked guilty. The initials are ZH. Did you place your initials on this document?
Yes, sir, I did.
On the next page of the same document, Mr. Harmon, there's a signature. And that signature purport to be your signature. Did you place your signature on this document above the line that's titled defendant?
Yes, sir, I did.
And on the next page, on the next document that is titled the trial court certification of defendant's right of appeal, there's a signature that purports to be your signature above the line that is titled defendant. Is that your signature?
Yes, sir, it is.
There are two boxes that are checked at the top of this document. The first box states that this is a plea bargain case and you have no right of appeal. And the second box states that you are waiving, which means you're giving up your right to an appeal. Do you understand that?
Yes, sir, I do.
And Mr. Harmon, there should be a document out there that is titled the discovery certification. Did you sign that document?
Yes, sir.
Now, Mr. Harmon, prior to signing and initialing these documents, did your attorney go over these documents with you?
Yes, sir, he did.
And did you read and understand everything in these documents?
Yes, sir, I did.
And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir, it is.
Mr. Boyd, you have to get in the camera. And is everything in these documents true and correct to the best of your knowledge?
Yes, sir, it is.
State, I have before me State's Exhibit Number 1. State, you like to offer State's 1?
Yes, Your Honor.
Any objections?
No objections, Your Honor.
Okay, no objections. State's Exhibit Number 1 will be admitted. Mr. Matuska, you advised and counseled Mr. Harmon. Is there any evidence that he is mentally incompetent to stand trial?
No, sir, Your Honor.
Mr. Harmon, your attorney, Mr. Matuska, has advised and counseled you. Are you satisfied with his representation?
Yes, sir, I am.
Has he provided full, effective, and competent legal representation?
Yes, sir, he did.
Okay. Mr. Harmon, I will accept your plea of guilty. I will find that you are mentally competent to stand trial. I will also find that your plea of guilty and waivers were freely and voluntarily given. I will also find that there is sufficient evidence to find you guilty beyond a reasonable doubt. State, do we have a plea bargain agreement?
Yes, Your Honor.
What is that agreement?
The terms of that agreement were 60 days jail and be probated for 1 year, $500 fine, and 40 hours community service.
Okay. Mr. Harmon, the state is offering that you serve 60 days in the Jefferson County Jail. However, you will not have to serve any more time in the Jefferson County Jail in this case because you will be placed on probation for 1 year. During the 1 year probationary period, could you give me a copy of his affidavit? During the 1 year probationary period, that just You got it, I just need something printed. During the 1-year probationary period, you'll be required to pay a fine of $500 plus court costs of $342. The total fine and court cost is $842. You'll also be required to pay a probation fee of $60 each month, a urinalysis fee of $15 each month. The total monthly installments that you would have to pay for this case is $155 per month. Mr. Harmon, would you be able to pay the $155 per month?
Yes, sir.
You will? Okay. Now, Mr. Harmon, you will also be required to perform 40 hours of community service, and you would also be required to adhere to the other standard terms and conditions of your probation. Mr. Harmon, do you understand the state's offer?
Yes, sir, I do.
And do you think that the state's offer in your case is fair and just?
Yes, sir, there it is.
And do you accept the state's offer?
Yes, sir, I do.
Okay, Mr. Harmon, I will follow the plea bargain agreement that you have made with the state. Mr. Harmon, this will conclude your case. Please follow the bailiff, and you have a blessed day.
You too.